Hello, 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 everybody. Happy Friday. We are in February, Lovers Month, and happy Black History Month. I am Keisha. I'm one half of the host of the Regal Mindset podcast show. Jake, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I am Dr. Joy, the coach. I'm the other half of the Regal Mindset Show, and we got a show for you today.
For sure, for sure, for sure. So tonight, in honor of Love Month, we are going to be having a conversation, excuse me, around love labels and liabilities. I love this
I got
topic.
a question.
Yeah,
Who named February as a love month? Did we ever find that out?
maybe Cupid. I don't know.
I
But
don't know. It was just a thought. I was just
yeah,
wondering.
no, well, I really think it could be a longer month, and along with that, I would also say Black History Month. I feel like we
Hmm.
could have got another one, but listen, we gonna
Yeah,
rock it
it's
out.
cold and it's short.
Okay, we're gonna rock it out. It is again February the 6th, and we got Valentine's Day coming up here soon. So, for those of you who have a love, need a love, want a love, make sure you got some things in order so that you can demonstrate or express to that person how much you care about them and what it is that they mean to you in your life. But tonight, if I had a little drum, we talking about love labels and liabilities. I love this topic because for many different reasons, right? And we're gonna
Hmm.
talk about some of the things that I feel like are owed to this discussion, right?
Hmm.
Love, huge. I mean, we can define love in so many different ways, especially within the LGBTQ community.
Hmm.
What is your first thoughts around love in the rainbow community?
Love and lesbians always tend to work together because us hoes fall in love on an hour in.
For
And
sure,
what
for
is,
sure.
yeah, that's just too much.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think we define love. How can I say this? It's the running joke and the stereotype that lesbians have this U-Haul type love.
Yeah.
But then when you have our trans sisters and brothers, and a lot of them are looking for love, and that love could be acceptance, that love can be home. Then when you have the houses that accept the LGBT community. So I think across the board, we don't define love as an emotion. We define love as a safety, a safe haven, and an action more than just an emotion. I think lesbians are emotional, but
Mhm.
everybody else, if you really go down the line, they're looking at it from a safety. They're looking at it from, yeah. And I think we really open up love.
Mhm. Mhm. I have a different outlook, right? Not
Go
to
ahead,
say
go ahead.
that lesbians aren't full of love and that we're able to exhibit and express love in different ways. We do. But I will say that there's a period in a lot of lesbians' life and journey, and I'm
Mhm.
only able to speak from the lesbians' perspective because that's who I am. But for lesbians, I would equate they often exchange love for lust.
Oh, that's
And
good.
and the reason
That's
I say
good.
that is because I have been young.
You better pop that collar.
I have lusted after a few, if I'm being honest, right?
Mhm.
But at the same time, I understand now as I've, matured and learned a lot about myself that I have replaced at times, especially in my younger years, love for lust, right?
Right.
And even beyond that, I feel like some of the young lesbians fall in that category, and they sometimes will say love bomb their
Yeah.
partner or their significant other because they don't quite understand where it is that they are on that spectrum, right? Because
Right.
it may start with lust and eventually it may get to love. But
Right.
if we're not honest where we are on that line, it can be very unclear.
I just don't think you really can be honest in certain things when you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know with me, I'm a love bomber.
Mm.
I know that. I take pride and I take joy in fulfilling my partner's fantasies.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them.
Clear that up. Yeah.
Let's clear that up real quick. Because I remember when me and Shay started dating, she always talked that she's in this fairy tale world. Let's start there.
Yeah.
And so everything was a fairy tale. But she wanted one of them horse-drawn carriages.
Ah.
So we went to dinner with two of our other friends,
Uh-huh.
and we went to this restaurant called Prime Rib. It was the seasonless, most expensive meal I ever had. And when she came outside, what you think was sitting outside?
That
That
carrot.
carriage.
Yeah.
So, and then when I plan dates, now she might be mad now because I'm like, I got you now, just gonna lay down. But I plan dates, I didn't have the lust aspect because it didn't end up in any type of act
Okay.
because I wanted to do a massage. So instead of me going and just booking a massage, I walked. Somebody need another one. See, I went and found the massage table,
Uh-huh.
met the people to buy it, built, set it up at the house. I had the sounds, I had the dinner, I had everything.
Yeah.
And you would think, okay, that was like damn near $500. You could have just went and got her a little $75 rub down. But to me, everything is an experience, and that's how I show love. But
Absolutely.
then I had to heal because nobody was meeting me. I didn't need you to do what I did. I need
Mm,
you to meet me at the level of love that I was given, and
that's
I
good.
wasn't getting that.
Yeah, that's good.
And I also realized that I learned that love language from my mama.
Mm.
She you didn't know you did her love language. You don't say I love you. You showed up with a gift.
Mm-hmm.
So when me and Shay went through counseling about that and understanding affirmations and words of whatever she liked, I'm thinking, well, I you told me you wanted that rock when we first met, and when I finally found the rock, I bought it, presented you the rock, and you're saying because I didn't say I love you, that mattered more than me
Mm-hmm.
remembering that you wanted that rock, and we was missing the whole communication.
Yeah.
I wish she could take that. She probably wish she could take that back now.
Yeah.
That was like, all right, I love you, and then you don't get nothing, and you're mad. So that was also a hurtful place because that's the only way I knew how to show love was gifts.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah. You brought up an important point. And I think that we need to spend a little bit of time there because a lot of times, like you said, when we're dating or in that phase of dating or after we've lusted over this person, that we don't often share what it is that our love languages actually are.
Mhm.
One, I think is in part because we may not know for ourselves,
Right.
right? And two, we just assume that the other person or our partner, regardless of how long we've been together, should know how to love on us or love
Mhm.
us, right? Which is both incorrect, right?
Right.
We do have to communicate in ways, and sometimes those ways even change over a period of time, right?
Right.
We have to be able to communicate to our loved ones, to our significant other, how it is we receive love and ask the same thing in exchange, right? So that we're
Right.
not missing the mark, so that we're able to speak to one another in those languages so that we feel heard and we feel seen
Right.
versus assumptions.
But then how does that work when we're in this relationship because of a trauma bond?
Ah, that's a good one. Actually, that was one of the topics.
Yeah.
Um, I think that happens a lot too.
Hmm.
I really I see it a lot, especially in cases where it ends up being a what is it, domestic violence, DV issue.
Or
Right.
ending of.
Yeah, yeah. And I take that or I see that as an opportunity for people just not to be people who have just not learned how to regulate their feelings and express it in a way that is healthy so the other person can hear you and understand. Not that they have to have all the answers at first, but at least hear you and understand. We lack that ability sometimes. And
Hmm.
it's hopefully it's getting better, but I do think we
Right.
need to have more conversations about that. So yeah, trauma bonding is real.
And I think a lot of relationships that is very toxic and
Mm,
that going back and forth and you're gonna be with me on that's trauma bonding
yeah,
because what if y'all was in jail together and y'all bonded because that was the situation y'all was in? People that go to church together, that's a trauma bond, believe it or not. situations can put you into where you bonded with that person because y'all share the same trauma.
Mm-hmm.
But then when is enough? Because we had that situation with Girl La La,
Yes.
and that was a trauma bond because you kept going back.
Mm-hmm.
We know you was getting your head cracked open. You knew you was getting your head cracked open. You posted about it. You didn't think it was going to end in this. You think you was just going to say, you know what, I'm gonna just stop today.
Mm-hmm.
That never happens. There's never been a domestic violence situation where you stayed in that got better.
Mm.
And if I want, I would love to talk about it if it ever did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You have to separate or you die out.
Yeah. Yeah. For health reasons. I mean, you got to protect your own peace and your own safety.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
it's like you have those trauma bonds, but how do you fix that? How do you navigate it? One, acknowledge that they exist.
Mm-hmm.
Because grandpa made a very important part. Like. Sometimes I'd rather you just like me better than love me.
Yeah.
Because I mean you could talk where we could tolerate me in those times. I just rather you like me
Mm-hmm.
in a relationship. So then it's like if you're in those domestic violence situations, the person really don't like you because if they can on your birthday make it about them,
Mm-hmm.
start a fight. 'Cause I saw this couple. They was at the restaurant. They did happy birthday on the plate, and the boy went and took it and scrambled it and was laughing.
Mm.
That would have been the last moment we ever had together because a person would show you how they like you and then what they'll say, well, you know I love you. You don't like me and I don't feel safe. So if you acknowledge those things and start seeing the red flags
Yeah.
and
What they are
truly,
too.
yeah, and truly saying that's a red flag.
Mm-hmm.
You literally did everything to sabotage my birthday. That's a problem
Yeah.
because you know I will go all out for you. We're gonna dress alike. I'm gonna make sure we doing everything. But when it comes to my birthday, one I had to pay for it, and I had to no. So how else? What would you tell people in the aspect of identifying those trauma bonds in order how to reverse them to make it where it's healthy?
Yeah. So yeah, definitely identifying, what those are, right? So if you're not in a healthy space yourself, right? And how do you
Mm-hmm.
know if you're not in a healthy space, right? When, like you said, everything externally is what you need to validate yourself, right?
Right.
That you're off-centered, right? You need to
Mm-hmm.
seek something from someone else in terms of how you need to get yourself back on track. That's first.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you're with a person who you not willing to know, right? You're just
Mm-hmm.
in it just because maybe you're comfortable, maybe I don't, maybe it's been some time and you don't want to get to know somebody else, but there has to be some sort of growth. Yeah, she said she cried. I cried on my wife's birthday about a gift. She did. I'll tell you about it. Uh,
I can't wait to hear
we,
that.
right, you have to be at a place where you're continuously growing with that person, and that person is learning about you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you realize that, hey, there's some things about yourself that you know for sure you don't like, then it's your responsibility to work on those things. It's not your partner, and they shouldn't have to continue to bring those things up. And if they do, then maybe that's just not the relationship for you. I
Right.
honestly feel like relationships are there to teach you things about yourself.
Yeah.
If you are not able to honestly reflect on who you are as a person in that relationship, then you're doing yourself a disservice, and you're going to take that baggage along with you to the next relationship, and
Right.
you're definitely going to have issues.
Absolutely. And piggybacking off that, one of the beginning issues that me and Shay had was that flaws and all.
Ah, okay.
A flaw can be changed. I can
Yeah.
see if you came in with one hand. All right, I can deal with that.
Yeah.
But I can't deal with the fact that you keep using the other hand to hit me. That's not a flaw.
Yeah.
Flaws can be changed. And people use that. Well, you said you'd take me flaws and all. Some things you're going to have to change. No, because you got power to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, if you don't want to change, then I have to make a decision to change.
Yeah.
And who was it? It was Iyanla when she left her 14-year relationship, she said, "You don't love me the way that I want to be loved." That hit me
Yeah.
because I'm telling you how I want to be loved.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing the opposite and saying, "Well, I'm loving you the best I can." Well, then it's not. You have to be mature enough to say, "Well, then that's not for me."
Absolutely, man.
And
And that
that will hurt.
hurts.
Yeah, because you think, "Oh, we done put all these years in," but then you got to keep in mind, but that's not how I want it.
Yeah.
If I'm telling you that your jokes hurt and you keep on joking, you're not loving me the way that I'm. That doesn't make me sensitive. That doesn't make me, oh no, and I'm telling you, I don't want that.
Yeah.
And if you
Absolutely.
can't, and if you can't change it, like Medea said, then you change because
Yeah.
obviously you want to be there. And then when I leave, don't sit there and say, I'm different now. No, no, you the same person. You just realize what my absence feel like, and it's
That part.
uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah. You talking now, man. Listen, I 100% agree. I recall a period in my life where I had to say to someone, listen, um, I have love for you. I love you, but you don't have the capacity to love me in the way that I need. And
Right,
this relationship has to end. We
right.
can't continue to go down this path because it's not going to serve you or me. And this was a long time we would, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? But we keep teetering, we kept teeter-tottering this fence back and forth. And it just that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, and I
I have
think
to
people,
love me more than I'm expecting
right,
you to love me.
because I can't be
Period.
my best self if I don't love me more.
Right.
That doesn't mean you don't exist. That means I have to heal and fulfill things that it's not your job to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when I don't believe you're my all in all, I don't. I don't believe that you're my everything because that means I'm coming with nothing.
Mm.
No, I believe that we are compatible enough to fix our idiosyncrasies to make this work.
Mm-hmm.
When I marry people, I don't talk about falling in love. I talk about standing in love because I made a decision
Mm-hmm.
to live this life with you and all six of your kids, Lachey. That was a decision.
Yeah.
And I'm going to stand in that decision, even when you don't like me on Tuesday. Because you're not going to like me because you're going to get mad because you got to get up in the morning and I don't. And you're going to be mad. I know my wife.
Uh-huh.
She's going to look at me and she's going to look at the fact that I'm cozied up because I don't have to get up right now. And you
Uh-huh.
do. Or when I didn't get you the thing you wanted. And you have to be able to say, no, I made a commitment to this because I seen us together then. I seen where we can get better and grow. And I see us at the end to where we can be even better than this. I can grow with you.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's when you get people to say, we just outgrew each other because you didn't look across the board.
That's good right
Bottom
there. Yeah.
line,
Yeah.
you can sit there and be like, you know what? Yeah, you fine. And the next thing you know, that's all you're looking at. I got to look at you if you ain't got on makeup because when I met you, you got on makeup.
Yeah.
And that was sorcery.
Yeah.
And then now you wake up and you looking like Magilla the gorilla. I
Okay.
can't do it.
Come
I
on,
know me.
Cleo.
Because as soon as we get in an argument, the first thing will come out is your ugly self. Let's be
But
real. You know that's gonna be the first thing come out. You're ugly.
for sure, that part. That's what they call a label. We're gonna label them as that.
Exactly.
But look, they got some choice words for you too. Like they don't mind
Exactly.
you. Yeah, that's cool.
Exactly.
That's how you really feel. Okay, thank
That's how
you.
you feel. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. No, I 100%. I love how you put it. I think that it, whether we're just getting to know each other, whether we've been together for 5 years or whether we've been together for 50 years,
Mhm.
we have to continue one to learn each other, right? And we're going to grow and change as we get older, but we also have to be committed to and invested in this relationship, right?
That
It can't be
part.
one person invested and the other person is partially invested on it when it concerns them or when it benefits them, right?
Hmm.
It's always I'm invested, right? And like you said, I've decided to invest in this relationship.
Exactly.
And I've decided, right? That we
Right.
got two people, two imperfect people who are actually trying to make an effort to be better together.
Right.
But it takes a joint effort. You're absolutely right.
It takes a joint effort. God, it was a part you brought up that was so fascinating. It'll come back to me.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's like when you're, oh, this is what I want to bring up because when you grow, and me and my wife had this conversation, what I need to accomplish for my own valuation has no reflection on you.
Mm,
Case in point, me and my wife, even with our children, we see education different.
hmm.
I view education not because I want you to meet some standard that's out there, because I know you ain't no dummy and I expect you to do well. Don't come in here with that craziness. I'm going to push you to the potential that I know exists. I'm not going to let up on you because you did that. No, you're supposed to do that. Graduating high school was not well, at least you graduated. No, that was your job. Now, if you go further, that's something different. So we had to, but I knew that coming in.
hmm.
Then looking at where she's in school, doing great, doing everything she needs to do to make herself better, it doesn't impact the fact that I have a doctorate and she has a bachelor's.
Hmm.
That ain't got nothing to do with the equally yokedness of our relationship. I didn't need her to have a doctorate to be with her.
Hmm.
Who said that? That was Prince. Don't have to be rich to be my girl. And I think
Right.
people don't look at that. But in early in a relationship, if she seen me talking, because she had a real bad problem with this, if she seen me talking to somebody who she felt matched me there, she thought they caught my eye.
Mm.
And I'm like, girl, we was over there talking about goddamn hot dogs. But in her head,
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't Jill Scott. So what are we worried about?
Yeah.
But then that's where I'm willing to work with your emotions because, all right, there's a level of security I need to give you. I didn't choose you to be my wife because I thought, oh, well, I just need no. I chose you to be my wife because I like what I liked then, and I
Hmm.
knew the potential that you had, and I knew I would like it later.
Yeah.
And her mama is pretty too, so I knew where you was growing to be.
Yeah.
Now, if her
Yeah.
mama was real bad, I was like, nah, you know. So, and I brought that up because a lot of people look at the now and try to compare it to a future, not seeing the potential of a person that they can have. And
Hmm.
again, what equally yoked mean in love? That's not us matched one for one. I need you to carry the weight as much as I carry the weight. That's what a yoke is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you burden the weight just as me? It didn't mean that we have to go to the same and get the same degree. And I think a lot of people in relationship get that mixed up. I don't need you to
Yeah.
match me.
That's a good point.
I need you to be able to hold up your end.
Yeah. 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 But as the partner, if you, especially two things, especially if you know your partner, then you know how to speak to that person
Mm-hmm.
internally to encourage and motivate them. Right. That's the
Right.
first part. And then the second part of that, and I'm thinking that you would agree, you have to one know who you marry. Right. There's a
That part.
particular way that me specifically, I'll speak for myself, that I carry myself and I conduct business because I know who I marry. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Period, point blank. We're not talking about who my wife is today versus who she was 10 years ago. We have to know who we marry.
You have to. Now, sometimes they surprise us. We got to be real.
Uh, I
Every now
don't
and
know.
again, they come out that jack in the box, and you be sitting there turning it, and that
Yeah.
thing pop. You be like, okay, I wasn't expecting that one. You got me. I'm all in now, but you got me because I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah.
but you're right. It's like I know who the person that I'm with,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I know how they support me enough to where I can grow, and I'm willing to do the same for them.
For sure. For sure. For sure.
Yeah, but
Absolutely.
they pop out and show us sometimes.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So, and getting to that, right? Let's circle back, right? So my
Mhm.
wife mentioned something about my birthday one time. So when I proposed to her, I proposed to my wife on my birthday. I forget what
Oh,
number it was, but we were in Vegas and
okay.
we were at dinner, and I told her that she had to wear white because we were going to an all white thing. That was a lie. I
Mhm.
just needed her to have on white because I knew she wanted to take pictures or was going to
Right.
want to take
Yeah,
pictures.
you got to trick them so every now and
Oh,
again.
for sure, for sure. You got to lie. I don't mind.
Yeah.
So my point in saying that or setting it up in that way is that I gave her some gifts before I gave her the ring, right? She had already picked out the ring. She just didn't know that's what she was getting. So she had some gifts. I gave her some gifts. Mind you, again, this is my birthday.
Mhm.
I gave her a gift, a picture frame. And I think it was something along the lines of this is to the future us or something like that, right? Something very sentimental.
Right.
But she looked at the gift and she started crying.
Oh my God.
Why is you? Why is you? This is the worst gift I ever got. Well, let me remind you.
Did you push her down the stairs?
No, no, no. I had to remind her. I said, "Sweetheart, this is my birthday.
Right.
This is my birthday. Today is my birthday." And she said, "But this is the worst gift I ever got." I said, "Okay, don't worry about it. Put it to the side." And so we continue on. I have our dinner and whatever, and then I get to the point where I propose or what have you, and then I explain to her why she got the picture frame. This picture
Right.
frame is to put our first year anniversary picture into this because it would then be our future.
Right.
Oh, okay. Well, you just should have told me. Well, I couldn't tell you everything all at one time. Just
That's
enjoy the
why her
gift.
and Shay are friends. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So that was the story behind what she mentioned there. But
Mhm.
uh yeah, so sometimes we got to just be grateful for the things that we have and not necessarily always know the backstory and the things that come with it. Just
But
be
see,
happy.
and I think they don't, and I'm gonna say they because you're absolutely right. I remember Shay told me that her first husband gave her this little ring. They was teenagers, first of all.
Hmm.
But her mother-in-law had a bigger ring, so she just took the ring off, threw it, and put it. And I said, but you can see how that hurt him
Yeah.
because he gave you his best, and you come on, Paul Sharp. Exactly. He gave you his best in that moment, and you
Yeah.
took that moment and you crumbled it up because you wanted something bigger.
Hmm.
And I brought that up because I'm a Cancer. I live for moments. So if I give you a moment and you looking for bigger, I'm gonna push you down the stairs because that's just the way I'm gonna respond. But then I think that comes with maturity too, and learning the person
For
that you're
sure.
going to be with to see that okay, I know it's going to have more to it, not just a picture frame.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know
Absolutely.
what? These women, they
Well,
straight. We should be entitled to compensation at this point.
for sure thing. I then with back pain for sure.
Right,
Attachment styles, right? So I know for sure, especially in this LGBT rainbow.
right.
There's different attachment styles in the queer and dating spaces.
Mhm.
We talked about trauma bonding.
Right.
Another attachment style I feel like would be um,
That
uh,
cougarness.
what not even that. I would say we are both in LGBT Greek fraternities, or we're in fraternity spaces, and sometimes there's a cliquish thing where
Hmm.
a sisterly or a friendly fraternity or sorority uh has an open pool of eligible
Just the way you breaking this
eligible
down.
people. And sometimes those attachment styles I think blur and cross lines.
It
That's
does.
my opinion, right? But there's other attachment styles I think are more relevant, especially in the LGBTQ space. Are you able to think of any off the top of your head?
You killed me with that one. Because in
That's
our
true.
world, it
Yeah,
exists.
yeah, that's true.
In our world, I'm gonna go out on a limb because I may have to explain it a little bit.
Yeah.
Narcissistic traits.
Okay.
That's an attachment style because they cut, like you say, they love bomb you. They come after you to get you into a vulnerable place to destroy you. And that's an attachment style because they're giving you, they heard what you didn't get. So they're going
Mm,
to make sure they're giving you that. And the next thing you know, you're hurting at the end. And so to me, that's an attachment style. I've had friends that have had this experience where this person come in and they come in with the cape And I'm sitting there like, you might want to run, but I can't say that out loud.
Yeah.
And they did the same thing that they did to all of them. And it's like, but it's a thing. They want what that person portrays. They
Mm,
want that glam. They want that glitter, and come to find out it's shit.
mm.
We got several people
Yeah. I
that we
almost
know
take
as a
that.
collective.
Yeah. And I agree. I think I almost take that as a label, right? There's a particular
Mm.
label or type of person that they're usually interested in or they go for versus
Yeah.
an
Oh, I
attachment
want somebody
style.
with dreads, but they were beating your ass for a whole year. Why do
Yeah.
you want get a low haircut? They ain't gonna fight.
That's true. All on my TikTok timeline, there's always
Mm.
some fam or someone who just give me a tall, light skinned girl with stud with dreads, or just give me a tall, dark skin with dreads, and ooh da 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 da. Da. Listen, honey, listen. That may not even be what you need.
It may not be what you need because I on my timeline they was just putting one out. She was light skinned, she was tall, she had a little athletic little build on her, and she had dreads, and she was putting out time. And you ain't even got nothing because you want it light skinned
Yeah,
with dreads.
yeah,
And I ain't got nothing against dreads because I want mine back. But
yeah,
I'm just saying, if you stick with your type and you have not had a successful relationship, change.
yeah. Absolutely.
Maybe you need to get an Asian. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
All I know is try something different.
For sure, for
Because
sure. It's
at this
time.
point, that's a red flag.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And I think, and I to me, I guess maybe the bigger one is the trauma bond as an attachment. Because I don't know, yeah. I don't know too many other attachment styles.
Not that comes right off the rip, right?
Yeah.
But if you guys have one, we would love to hear what attachment styles you guys have either come across yourself or you are or have been guilty of yourself. If you feel like sharing,
Hmm.
we'd appreciate that.
You know
Absolutely.
you're guilty.
For sure, for sure. So what about the healing journey, right? And how that healing process for yourself
Hmm.
or from someone else, right? Maybe they just got up over a breakthrough, how that shrinks the opportunities in the dating pool.
Well, the dating pool got pee in it.
For sure
So
it
what's
does.
the
I
point?
don't know if they know that.
Y'all need scuba gear and an antibacterial. Y'all need to get a tetanus shot.
Shot.
Yeah. At this point, stay married. It ain't
Yeah,
even that
yeah,
serious no more.
yeah,
I think healing, of course, we know healing looks different from everybody,
yeah.
right? Nobody can tell you how to heal. But what I can say that that does healing is leaving something alone.
Mm,
If you get a scar on you get a cut, leaving it alone heals it.
mm-hmm.
When you go have surgery and they put that little steri strip, they say leave it alone, it'll fall off by itself. You don't need to go in there and bandage it up, nothing. So we know healing, and healing is painful. Break a bone and see what
Mm-hmm.
happens.
Mm-hmm.
When you have open heart surgery to get to your heart, to fix it, they have to crack your ribs,
Mm.
break your sternum. It hurts. It's supposed to hurt.
Yeah.
And give yourself permission to say, it's okay for me not to go to not have to have a company of people to go on a date. I've had the best fun by myself.
Mm-hmm.
I can drink as much as I want, I can do what I want and be done. But healing is your ability to allow yourself to forgive, to choose a different path, to learn what it takes to love you.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you went through that relationship, you didn't know how you want to be loved because you was going through the relationship. You were focused on your partner. Now you got to be focused on, do I like sharing a bed with somebody? I don't. Kiki Palmer said that the other night.
Yeah.
She said if she get another relationship, we will not be living together.
Yeah.
She said I want him to have one right around the corner so I can go over there and
Yep.
say I'm going to my man house.
Yeah. I heard that
And
too.
it's okay because there's no picture perfect relationship to say this is how a relationship should go. If you need to sleep in separate rooms to keep the love alive, sleep in separate rooms. If you need to, whatever it takes, don't let society or old past relationships define how you're supposed to look.
Mm-hmm. Good point.
It's not supposed to look like that. It worked for them.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
no. And you
I
choose that.
Yeah, I think the healing journey or the healing process, like you said, is definitely a time where you need to take accountability for the things that you've
Hmm.
done, didn't do, and it's necessary, right?
Right.
You have to reflect on what happened during that relationship, what things did not sit right in your spirit, what
Hmm.
things you need to work on yourself, right? Because there's a level of accountability on both parts, right? That you need to look at wholeheartedly and say, you know what, I could have operated differently. I could have done different things. I could have treated her this way, that way, and I could have expected
Hmm.
more. But did I communicate? There's so many different things. The healing
Yeah, that's
process,
good.
the healing journey itself is necessary.
It's
And I think
necessary.
oftentimes when people are in relationships, they don't take the time necessary to enjoy learning the things they need to learn in that healing process.
Right.
They rush through because they want to be in love so bad. I need
And
me
it's
a
like,
Valentine.
child, no, you go to the
Be
store and
your
get that
own
little
Valentine.
dollar box. Right. Go get that dollar box of chocolate and shut up.
Yeah.
Because they ain't gonna come in there because they're gonna wait until Valentine's Day to go get it. They ain't pre-planned that.
Yeah.
'Cause if that because in truthfulness, if you wait until the 14th to do something, you just want to make sure she ain't gonna punch you in the eye when you get home.
That part.
Unless you sending something to her job to make her feel special. I
Uh-huh.
ain't sending nothing to Shay job because she can rip them old bad kids and they're gonna rip it up. And she don't share nothing in the way. But if you're loving them and you're buying gifts and you're doing things with them up until a time, that's just an additional day. But I don't have to pay the cost of Valentine's Day to show you that I love you.
True. True. Good point.
And
Good point.
I think some people need to get outside of the norm. Like it ain't that serious.
Hmm.
Like instead of always going to Miami, go somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do
What's
something
a
else.
couple people that's online that are agreeing with you in terms of separate bedrooms, and some have even said not separate houses. I get that. That's not for me, right?
Yeah.
I
No, I don't
choose
think that's
and
for
I
you.
need right. I need to be able to continuously be able to connect. Right. Now we live in our house, when my wife is home, we live in our house together. I can also say that we enjoy going outside of our house to
Hmm.
connect and reconnect and doing things that we would like to do or enjoy doing. That's just for us to be able to enjoy one another and continue to learn
Right.
about one another. To have separate bedrooms, for me, I guess it's just a preference. It's just not something that I would want to do. So I'm curious as to the people who do
Right.
agree with you why they feel like separate bedrooms are okay versus
Well, I can tell
separate
you my
house.
reason. Now,
Sure.
granted, we don't have separate bedrooms now. We never did when we was together. But in my first relationship, I did. We had a 3-bedroom house. She had her room, I had my room. Even though I slept in her room, I still had my room. I think it was more of a mental thing
Mm.
because I've always been on my own.
So you
I
need a
moved.
space.
I That's it. That was the
Okay.
biggest thing. And I don't like people touching my stuff.
Okay.
That's just don't come in there unraveling the way I got my ties rolled. Don't come moving stuff because if I knew I put that bottle of perfume right there, why is it over here?
Right.
And it's literally going to throw everything about me off. That's
Yeah,
me.
I get it.
So, and I have so much stuff. It makes sense in order to try to, like right now, our room is a disaster because we're bringing clothes up. We got clothes over here. And I realize we really just have too much that we really need to pull back. But I've
Mm-hmm.
always been like that. I'm not making an excuse. I've always been like that. So that's just me.
Yeah.
And spectrum or not, that's just how I operate. It keeps peace.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Separate bathrooms, I think is a must.
Okay.
I don't like weave hair. I don't want to sit here and get your lipstick off of the countertop. I'm gonna be mad.
Eyelash glue.
Yeah. And then you got 3 and 4 sets of eyelashes looking at me like this. I don't want it.
Furry caterpillars.
Exactly. So to avoid that, I have my own bathroom.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's best. If
Yeah.
I'm in a quick rush, I might use her bathroom. If not, if I got time to make it up the stairs, I'm going up the stairs.
Yeah.
It's comfortable. It's
Yeah.
the color scheme that I wanted it to be. And I think that's good. I
Yeah.
mean, if we could have separate, like if once we get a house built, we'll have separate toilets. I want you to have your own space. We'll have separate, I mean, no, we'll have one of them big showers where you get your shower head that do what you want it to do. And I'm gonna have mine. Because
Yeah.
I don't like shaking the shower together because you're still in the water. And it ain't romantic to me when my mind is I'm cold. My back is cold. The soap done dried on my leg, and I
Yeah.
can't get past that, so it's no longer sexy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then the water flicking in my eye. I'm telling you, I'm gonna have an attitude. So I'm telling you why I don't do it. It's a
Yeah.
lot to be with me, and I know that.
I get that.
But I told him that. I
I was just
told him.
gonna say, I'm sure that's a conversation you all had, prior to joining households or whatever that conversation was.
And when she
That
came to
was a
my
discussion.
place, you
Yeah.
knew that stuff was in its very specific place.
Yeah.
I vacuumed multiple times. I mopped almost every day. The frats that used to come to my house, they would tell you, you can literally something fall on the floor, you can pick it right on up and eat. But then when you get with somebody, you're sitting there like, okay, should I tell her that all right, it's gonna be a fight? What you mean, hell no, it wasn't. We did did she answer something else?
I don't know.
We did discuss it, Lachey. You seen with your own eyes when you came into my place. Just because you ain't want to take it in ain't my fault.
This is a good one here. Uh, how do you feel about emotional availability versus emotional performance?
Ooh,
That's a good one.
that's a good one.
Yeah, because that happens. I can see that too in the LGBTQ community.
I think it's everything starts with performance. I'm gonna take that limb.
Okay.
I think you become available the more and more you grow to love that person. I mean, she was blindsided. She should open up her eyes. Anyway, I think as you continue to grow, you become more available because then you know what their needs are.
Okay.
You know how to meet those needs because everybody can meet the basic need. But like I told the story multiple times, the difference in shades cries.
Mm.
And I need to know what need I need to meet. And then I made her mad the other day. And I didn't even know I did. I knew she was mad at me because the way she was acting. But when she explained it to me, and I had to say, okay, I can see that. And that's not what it was. I explained it not to take away or devalue your emotion, but it's like, okay, I can see that, and I need to fix that
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't catch on to that part of the conversation. So that takes growth. But
Yeah.
performance, you okay, baby? You all right? I'm not that gay. I don't care if your stomach hurting with cramps. So you knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Why are we
Yeah.
crying about it? Go take that pill, go lay down. I'll get you all the medicine, but I'm not rubbing your stomach. I've never been that type of lesbian.
Yeah.
I'm not rubbing your stomach. I'm not, you knew it was happening. So we
I
perform
understand.
enough. Yeah.
Right, right. I look at it a little bit differently in the sense that emotional availability
Mhm.
for me almost seems like, and it has happened to me a lot of times when you start dating someone and you're telling them, who it is that you are and how you like to be treated and what kind of things you like
Mhm.
doing and you enjoy, they start becoming that person
Yeah.
or trying to become that person, right? When that may not actually be who they actually are. That's their
Mhm.
representative, right? So
Mhm.
I'm always careful how much I share. It's kind of like a balance, I guess you would say, how
Mhm.
much I share and how soon I share it, because I
Yeah.
want to see who you really are versus who I'm telling you I would like to be in relation with, right?
Right.
I want to see who you are as a person and how you show up and how I should expect you to show up so that I'm not surprised, after you start cranking that
Mhm.
Apple Jack or that box and
Mhm.
cranking it up there and I'm
Right.
surprised one day and now I'm thrown off and not quite sure how to take you because this is not the same person that you've been showing me.
Now I'm gonna throw out a whole fish a line on this one.
Sure.
A lot of people, and I can say me personally, I fell in love with Shay as a friend.
Mm.
I fell in love with how she treated her friends.
Okay.
And I, in all my error of my ways, thought that was equivalent to relationship.
Mm.
Shay was mean as hell. She relationships. She knew how to be married, but she didn't to me, she didn't know how to be in a relationship
Mm-hmm.
because she was more that one size fit all. Well, if this person liked it, then this person like I'm not
Yeah.
that person. And that was a
Right.
constant thing. I'm not that person. So it's like for me, it was like I'm all out. You're gonna see everything. You're gonna see the emotion on my knees, on my shoulder. I'm gonna wear it everywhere. But then I also had to come to where I failed and say, I fell in love with I loved how you were as a friend.
Mm-hmm.
You loved the hell out your friend. You was always there. You come flying. As soon as that bat symbol go in the sky, you coming down. But then when you got in a relationship, you treated me like shit.
Right. Right.
And so when you go through that, you have to reevaluate your relationship. It's like, can I deal with this? And are you willing to change to meet me where, because me with relationship, friendship, I dump a person real quick
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
it's me and her.
Mm-hmm.
Shay, she would dump her relationship for her friend. And
Mm.
I didn't understand that. And so you have to see people how they treat their friends, how they treat their family, how they treat relationship. Because if I would have
Mm-hmm.
paid more attention to how she treated her relationships, we probably wouldn't be married
Mm. That's
to this
interesting.
day.
Hey, what's up, Tony? I think that's interesting, but I also want to add that I think, especially again, when you go back to learning somebody and just starting out dating, right? There's a particular way that you relate to that person versus the time that you've had in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you've learned about one another, you've you know learned how they want to be loved, and hopefully in exchange for how that person wants to be loved as well.
Mm-hmm.
But there's always a period, in my opinion, there's always a period in which we have to say, okay, listen, this is what I thought, I was getting, or I
Mm-hmm.
thought was happening. And if it's not like that, then I expect that other person to say, well, no, it's not. And here's why, right? I,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that all of the relationships um, with my wife's friends are something that I would count on. I will say, I think that in some ways it could be a liability. For example, if she spends more time invested in outside relationships and lacks the ability to understand what's going on in our relationship, then in my opinion, that's a liability. I feel like there can be a balance, right? But
Yeah.
you have to determine that. I should not be the one to have to tell you, listen, it can't be girlfriend weekend every weekend. You know what I'm saying? At some
Right.
point, you have to prioritize the relationship. And same thing with family, right? It can't always be a family function every other weekend, right?
Right.
At some
We
point,
need a break.
we've got to create a family, and we have to learn what kind of traditions we want to set for ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't for maybe it's just me in the sense that I've always been so flexible and to be able to move and relocate other places. And I didn't
Yeah.
always have family in those places, right? I may have had family close, but it was usually their family, their friends, right? And I
Yeah.
had to insert myself into their situation and kind of get used to that, right? And I didn't have a problem doing that. But it has to be a balance, right? That partner has to know, okay, I'm doing this too much. I've done that too much. Let me spend some time, at home.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion.
No, I get that. And I think, and I'm not making no excuse for it, but I know when I moved here, I didn't know anybody and I met them as a group.
Okay.
So it was like I met the friend group. And we
Mm-hmm.
all of us, my friend group, her friend group, we all hung around in, the same spaces. So it
Mm-hmm.
was kind of like that's all you saw. And then with the whole relationship thing, she already had been divorced. So it was like, then she was getting into another relationship. And then I
Okay.
seen how mean she could be. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't know that.
But it was a good
Like,
lesson though.
It was a good lesson. It was a lesson. And right, I love bombed her heavy because that's who I was.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to, and if I go out for tea for tomahawk steak, you're going to eat tomahawk steak. I'm inviting you in, even though I know I can say it's love bomb. I'm inviting you into my regular life.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can do. If I don't want you in my life, I'm not going to give you the best that I give myself.
Mm-hmm. But you're also
So,
teaching her how you want to be treated.
exactly. I didn't say you need to pick up the check, but know that I do eat caviar and oysters together.
That's important notes.
That's important. No. Matter of fact, because on February the 10th, McDonald's is coming out with a caviar kit, and I've already told her
What?
I do expect it. You ever had caviar on a chicken nugget, girl? With
No,
some
I can't say that
creme
I
fraiche?
have. No, that's crazy.
Me and Abby will sit here and eat caviar and cream cheese on crackers like it's a regular hour.
Yeah.
Listen, and it's full of omega threes, and that's why my skin look good because
Mm-hmm.
you got to have them omega threes. I've been trying to tell Shay she needs to step it up, but no, you. So I'm inviting you into those spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Like I come from the south, so if I have a brand new car, you can drive it because I want you to drive the best car. I'm going to make sure this is it. That's just it. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like yeah, I love bomb heavy, but it ain't changed until you change. But it ain't changed to the point where it's nothing I won't do. It's not that I ran out of ideas. I had to recover for all of the rejection you gave me from that love bombing
Mm.
because it wasn't the love bombing from, I wasn't the person you wanted to be love bombed from.
Ah, that's interesting.
And I think that hinders a lot of relationships because I've married a couple and I told them at our dining room table, this ain't gonna work because of this, this, this. That
Oh,
ain't the person you want. You see all of that good loving, but she ain't got the face. Not that she's ugly. She ain't the person you want it from.
mm.
And if you can be honest by that, because I can tell you you're beautiful all day, but it ain't the voice that you want to hear that you're beautiful from.
Right. That's true.
So all it did was make me feel like I was mute. It made me feel like nothing I did was good enough because the person she wanted to hear it from wasn't saying it. I was saying it.
Hmm. But whose issue is that? Is that your issue or is it the other person's
No,
issue?
it was absolutely her issue, but
Okay.
I also had to take it. I took that as a rejection, as a hurt.
Ah, I see.
Because it's like I'm telling you're absolutely good. I love this. I love that. But then it was like, so you
Yeah.
just another, and I'm like, so nothing I said matter. So now you playing in that emotion. And like I told her when we broke up the first 15th of the time, I said, you ain't want to be number one no more. You want to be number two. So you have to accept what comes along with number two. You don't get all of that good stuff.
Yeah.
So I healed wrong because now I'm putting up what I consider boundaries, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting up walls because I don't want to deal with that again.
Mm. Mm.
And so I had to go through healing and what that looked like in order to be able to love her again now that she's ready to accept the love I was giving without always saying, well, you ain't want it when I gave it to you the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
I said that a lot. I know I did.
Mm-hmm. That took some work though.
It took a lot of work. It took
Yeah, both
Jesus, it took an
individually.
act of Congress, and a lot of stuff.
I hear what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're saying. There was a period of time where I would tell my wife that she's beautiful. Strangers would say she's beautiful, but if she didn't feel it herself
Mm.
internally, it was difficult for her to receive. It's almost as if you just say, "Oh, well, happy
Happy
Thursday."
Easter. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It
then but
was
then
like,
that's but that's also a red flag that a matured person, emotionally matured person can see. Because if I'm telling you you're beautiful and that still doesn't resonate with you, there's some healing that you need to do that
yep.
I can't fix.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nor is it
You
your
need to,
responsibility.
yeah, that means to me, your heart is with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was our situation. Your
Mm-hmm.
heart is with somebody else. So you're not going to hear what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're in a relationship and somebody's saying, well, this person did this. Okay, well, then go back to that person because that is a red flag and that's emotionally immature that you're
Yeah.
comparing me to your ex that you know beat you and drug you down the street.
Mm-hmm.
That's emotional immature. Because we talk about emotional maturity, we
Yeah.
don't really talk about the emotional immaturity.
Yeah. That is true. That's a good point. Absolutely. Yeah. No, I think that emotional availability and performance
Mhm.
actually both show up in the LGBTQ community. And I think, again, like you said, if we aren't clear about the work that we individually need to do, and making sure that we advocate for ourselves and saying that no, I'm not, I can't, I won't allow you to treat me in that way, or yes, this is how I want to be treated, so on and so forth. We have to be able to have those conversations in a
Right.
healthy way, right? We don't want to, especially if this is somebody that you have feelings for, or you care about, or you see a
Mhm.
future with them. You don't want to give them or deliver information to them that is going to tear down their ego or their self-esteem, or damage them in some ways that they can't recover from.
Right.
We've got to do better with that, right? And I think sometimes we just don't always do it the right way. We don't always do it.
Yeah. I definitely would agree to that. And I also feel, and I'm gonna go out on a long shot with this one, it's
Mm-hmm.
also their friendship circle. Because
Mm,
sometimes everybody don't know your relationship. And if I come in and say, why you got on that shirt? And then they friend be like, why she talking to you like that? Why? And then you feeding, somebody finna get dismissed. And so you have to check your surroundings to make sure that they're not encouraging
mm,
the healing that you're progressing in. You don't need
mm-hmm.
that. Well, why are you telling me I don't need it?
Good
Are
point.
you trying to get it? We got to talk with that because we're
Yeah.
dealing with healing and you're not taking into consideration your surroundings because that's a part of your
Mm-hmm.
healing.
Mm-hmm. Because they
How
could
are
be
your
on here, but
friends?
they trying to,
Yeah.
yeah.
How your
Good point.
friends, because again, I know we don't been through a lot. We went through that.
Mm-hmm.
When people found out that me and Shay had broke up,
Uh-huh.
do you know how many of them little smiling and heart emojis I used to get? And them text messages, let me know if you need to talk. Bitch, I'm mad. No, I don't want to talk right now.
That's
People,
great.
so while you're healing, make sure that everything is healing around you because sometimes you
Yeah.
need to cut off some of them things. That especially that one friend, F them, girl, let's go on ahead this club and see what I might not need that right now.
That's the single friend who ain't got nobody. Can't keep
Exactly.
nobody.
And then, that's if that's the one you could constantly complaining, I am going to talk about my marriage with a married couple.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because then you will understand, not a single person. And the next thing you know, I brought you this pecan pie because I heard you like pecan pie. Well, thank you, because
Mm.
I'm gonna eat the hell out of that pecan pie. But I'm just saying.
For the record, I'm not. Just in case.
I'm gonna tell that pecan pie out, and I'll make sure everybody in the house gets a child. Once they brought this over, you want some?
Yeah, yeah. No, that's cool. I love
Yeah.
that.
I love pecan pie.
Well, listen, we're about to wrap it up, but listen, this conversation has been amazing. Again, I
Amazing.
love love. I think we both love love. We've talked
Mhm.
about love, labels, and liabilities, and
And
we didn't really
lust.
talk a whole lot about liabilities other than that short segment. But we can all identify some liabilities in our relationships or in our lives somewhere, that we could either do better or eliminate altogether, or learn from, I'll say. Outside of that, you got anything else, Jay, you want to talk about?
No, I really enjoyed this conversation. I think our audience enjoyed it. It comes right in on time. And I think everybody need to take a chance and look at some liabilities.
Yeah.
Like, what is everything is not an asset. We actually did talk about, we kind of weaved it into our conversations on what liabilities look like in these relationships,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know? And so, yeah, and we hope that you find love and you find somebody that likes you, that wants to love you, get a joy out of loving you and seeing you with your makeup or without.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you have to pop your leg off and give it a little rest, they still right there. You know, whatever it takes. You might be missing a nipple. We don't know. You just want somebody to love you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Well, listen, I think we both want to offer to to our listeners and to our followers happy Valentine's Day ahead of time. We'll also extend again happy Black History Month. Continue to learn about our culture and our history. And I was about to say something about somebody, the orange. You see that bullshit he did?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Yeah, I ain't even gonna
listen,
give him the
your
energy.
black is beautiful no
Yeah,
matter what shade you are.
for
And
sure.
that's the craziness that if you can just own that, just say, I am beautiful in the skin that I was created in, because everybody wants it.
For sure.
They
For
tell
sure.
me how bad it is because they want it.
Yeah.
That's how they do in your relationships. You don't need that man because you want him. You don't need
Mm-hmm.
a woman because you want them.
Yeah. 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 Well, one thing we can do that's for free, we can spread love. So I will say, I love you all. Thank you again for tuning in. Please continue to like, share, and follow us on all of our social media platforms. We will see you all again on February the 20th after Valentine's Day. So we would love for you guys to leave us what you ended up doing on Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's gonna be good.
Okay, so leave us what you guys did. We'd love to see it. We'd love to talk about it. And until then, have a regal mindset, and we'll see you then.